The most powerful exorcist globally falls victim to jealousy within the imperial court, leading to his murder. Before succumbing to demise, he casts a spell of rebirth upon himself, seeking a chance for a new and improved life. Awakening in an alternate world as Psyche, the son of noble Blaze Lamprobe, he finds himself unable to harness the magic native to this realm. However, Psyche retains his exorcist abilities and loyal demon servants, carefully concealing these powers from his family. His aspiration is to forge a brighter future by outsmarting his past self. Psyche faces bullying from his brother Grey due to his birth from Blaze's mistress, coupled with his inability to wield magic. On the other hand, Luft, his other brother, shows kindness, and Psyche's sole companion is the family's slave, Ifa. Upon discovering the existence of the Lodonia Magic Academy, Psyche utilizes his mastery over the 6 elements, water, fire, earth, air, light, and shadow, to mimic magical prowess. This display convinces Blaze to permit Psyche's pursuit of magic studies. Simultaneously, Psyche uncovers Ifa's latent magical abilities in commanding nature spirits, prompting him to clandestinely train her. An elder newt launches an attack on a nearby city, its rampage culminating at their mansion. In a moment witnessed by numerous onlookers, Grey cowers in fear, while Psyche cleverly employs a poison curse disguised as fire magic to vanquish the monster. Blaze extends a reward to Psyche, who seizes the opportunity to request attending Lodonia alongside Ifa. However, Grey vehemently protests, believing he was the intended candidate for Lodonia. In response, Blaze redirects Grey's path, deciding that he'll join the army instead. Luft, showing pride in Psyche, bids him farewell with a pen as a departing gift. Grey, refusing to concede, challenges Psyche for the coveted spot at Lodonia but is swiftly and decisively defeated. Unbeknownst to everyone, Psyche orchestrates this outcome cunningly, manipulating a demon servant to incite the Elder Newt's attack. As Psyche and Ifa set off for the academy, Blaze grapples with a revelation. Psyche isn't his son but his nephew, the offspring of his vanished brother, Gilbert, who disappeared within demon territory. Blaze long suspected Psyche's mother to be a demoness, implying Psyche's potential to ascend as the next demon king. However, hoping Lodonia will mold a different destiny, Blaze remains optimistic. Meanwhile, Ifa, now under Psyche's ownership, anticipates sharing his bed, but he displays no interest. During the entrance exam, Psyche encounters Amu, a commoner girl wielding formidable magical prowess. He's taken aback as Amu bears an uncanny resemblance to his former apprentice in his past life, coerced by the imperial court to end his existence. At the practical exam, Ifa and Psyche outperform everyone except Amu, who scores highest with all 4 elements, plus light and dark magic, causing her instructors to suspect she is the next hero. Ifa is disappointed she is expected to live in the girls' dormitory and won't be allowed to serve Psyche or enter the boys' dormitory. Psyche notices a dark magic circle on academy grounds and leaves several talismans to keep an eye on it. During the opening ceremony, the circle summons 3 lesser demons to attack the academy. Psyche slips away to confront the circle's creator, a devil named Galios. Free of witnesses, Psyche is able to freely use his exorcist powers and manipulates Galios into revealing he is trying to kill the hero. Psyche easily defeats Galios, then feeds him alive to one of his demon servants, Mizuchi the dragon. Psyche finds that due to not having all his old strength, Mizuchi actually tries to kill him before being sealed away again. Amu kills the lesser demons, but this only causes people to regard her with fear and mistrust due to her power. Psyche is pleased by this, hoping that by becoming the hero's friend, he will stand out less compared to her and attract fewer enemies. Despite Psyche's efforts, Amu has no interest in being friends. Psyche and Ifa narrowly avoid being doused in demon blood by clumsy teacher Cordell. Amu and Psyche trip a magic circle trap and are transported into a nearby dungeon. Amu is knocked unconscious by trolls, allowing Psyche to freely summon a demon servant, the giant centipede, to kill them. Awoken, Amu is grateful for the help but reveals she has a headache. Psyche identifies this as a potentially fatal curse which he transfers onto one of his talismans, saving Amu's life. Grateful, Amu is shown to have a lewd sense of humor and a passion for fighting that most people find disturbing, though Psyche assures her all passions have uses. After defeating the dungeon boss, they loot a mithril sword for Amu and a magic ring. After returning to the academy, Psyche secretly confronts Cordell, revealed to be a devil's servant sent to assassinate Amu with a demon blood curse. Psyche uses the substitute talisman to reflect Amu's curse back on Cordell, killing him. Psyche gives the dungeon ring to Ifa, confirming it increases her control over spirits. Amu returns to treating Psyche coldly, becoming friends with Ifa instead. A year passes, bonding Psyche, Amu, and Ifa into an inseparable trio while thwarting any further attempts on Amu's life. The principal of the academy singles out Psyche for participation in a combat tournament at Capital City, alongside newcomer Mabel Crane. Amu feels disheartened by the exclusion, yet the principal stands firm on the selection, hinting at an undisclosed motive behind Psyche and Mabel's inclusion. Mabel's provocation leads to a sword duel with Amu, resulting in Mabel's victory and Amu's public humiliation. Adding to the tension, Mabel forewarns Psyche about the tournament's lethal nature, emphasizing that fatalities among participants are commonplace. Upon arrival in Capital City, Psyche engages in his initial match, outwitting mercenary swordsman Dennis by employing a talisman disguised as wind magic. As Psyche joins Ifa and Amu in the audience, the unfolding spectacle pits Belen, a student from a rival academy, against against Kyle, a bodyguard affiliated with the Rugrock Merchants Association. The audience recoils in horror as Kyle ruthlessly dispatches Belen, who, notably, makes no attempt at self-defense. Saika, well-versed in curses, discerns that Kyle's cursed evil eye had paralyzed Belen, making the act of killing even more atrocious, considering Belen's inability to defend himself due to the paralysis alone. Suspicions arise within Saika, contemplating whether Kyle might be an assassin aligned with the Merchants Association. After Mabel wins her first match, Saika is intrigued when the audience begin referring to Mabel as the hero. That night Saika captures a demon's human spy and interrogates him with his psychic demon servant, Satori, learning he was sent to spy on Mabel, whom the demons also believe to be the hero from her birth date and red hair. After letting Satori eat the spy alive, Saika is left confused. Amu is undoubtedly the hero, so he suspects Mabel is at the center of a conspiracy to make her appear to be the hero, attracting the demon's attention away from Amu. Kyle wins his next match with another merciless killing. The young knight Reynes becomes popular with the audience. Mabel warns Saika she absolutely must win the tournament, so he must forfeit or she will have to kill him in the semifinals. Kyle almost kills Reynes but is stopped by the judges, who declare Kyle the winner just in time. Saika notices Kyle uses gravity magic just like Mabel. That night Mabel attacks Saika in his room and flees after failing to kill him. Intrigued, Saika chases her. Saika discerns Mabel's true intent to incapacitate him enough to withdraw from the tournament. Mabel confirms a harrowing truth: both she and Kyle are enslaved soldiers manipulated by the Merchants Association. The association orchestrated Mabel's apparent demise at Kyle's hands to deceive the demons into believing the hero had perished, while simultaneously showcasing Kyle's worth. Trained under compulsion, Kyle's mind bears magical engravings, shaping him into an ideal soldier. His ultimate validation hinges on slaying the hero, proving his value to his captors. Amidst this revelation, Saika uncovers a poignant detail: Mabel is, in fact, Kyle's sister. She had altered her appearance, dyeing her hair to assume the guise of the hero, intending to end Kyle's suffering by orchestrating his demise. Realizing he cannot permit Mabel to execute her own brother, Saika faces her in their match, emerging victorious. Subsequently, he confronts and defeats Kyle, who, in a plea for Mabel's forgiveness, faces a merciless curse imposed by the merchants, ending his life for his failure. Following Kyle's funeral, Saika persuades Mabel to enroll in the academy as a legitimate student. Commending the principal for her calculated scheme, Saika comprehends that his triumph not only denies the merchants of Kyle but also secures Mabel as a potent addition to the academy. However, the aftermath takes a distressing turn. Mabel reverts to her original silver-haired appearance but recoils in horror at the unorthodox, seemingly sadistic tutelage orchestrated by Saika and Aoife to compensate for her year-long academic lag. Saika is asked to investigate the strange behavior of the neighboring Astelia Kingdom's guardian dragon, which has protected Astelia since a past queen helped raise it. Astelia's prince Cecilio, who is rather airhead, is entranced by Aoife and invites her to join his kingdom's harem. Saika decides to let Aoife choose on her own, since joining a royal harem is a rare honor. Arriving in Astelia, the dragon attacks their carriage but is driven away by Zek, an arrogant mage mercenary Cecilio hired. Saika scolds Aoife for freezing during the attack when she is capable of defending herself. After investigating Astelia's royal library, Saika learns the dragon became violent once before when he and his wife had a baby, which doesn't explain his current violence since his wife died decades ago. That night Cecilio summons Aoife to his room, but she refuses and sleeps in Saika's bed, too scared to be alone. She feels worse when Saika reminds her the harem might be good for her future, even though she is clearly in love with Saika. Cecilio resorts to offering to buy Aoife as she is technically a slave, but Saika refuses. Saika decides to visit the dragon's nest himself. Cecilio's elf attendant, Lisa, reveals to Aoife she must have an elf ancestor to use spirit magic. Saika finds the dragon is violent due to having an egg, having become female after his wife's death. Lisa shows Aoife the harem is actually a university for young ladies. One may become queen one day, but most become government officials. The dragon lets Saika help care for the egg. Aoife decides to remain with Saika, but Cecilio tries to force Aoife to sign all the legal papers, assuming he can just pay Saika for her later. Saika suddenly appears with the dragon and rescues her. Aoife helps Saika capture Zek, who tried to steal the egg to sell it. Cecilio decides to have the dragon killed anyway, hoping such a bold decision will strengthen his chance of becoming king. Fed up of Cecilio's idiocy, Saika thoroughly scolds him over his treatment of Aoife. Lisa actually agrees and apologizes to Saika and Aoife. Cecilio is ashamed and lets the dragon live. Lisa gifts Aoife several light spirits that provide healing magic. They return to the academy, but elsewhere a team of 5 powerful demons set out to finally kill the hero. Saika's father's request to meet Amu triggers Saika's suspicions of political entanglements. Gray, expressing his contentment in the army, persistently demands a rematch with Saika. However, in an unexpected turn, Amu duels Gray instead and falls victim to Gray's cunning maneuver, leading to Gray's victory. Adding another layer of complexity, Gray introduces Fiona, the holy princess of the kingdom. Saika, once again wary of political implications, observes Fiona's arrival with concern. Fiona's lineage links her to the emperor as the daughter of his mistress, the oracle priestess. Strikingly, Saika notices a resemblance between Fiona and his wife from his previous life. Surprisingly, His stepmother, who previously disregarded him, extends an invitation to maintain contact, prompting Saika's surprise. Amidst these encounters, Amu, curious about Saika's post-graduation plans, is taken aback when he expresses his intention to embark on adventures alongside her. Fiona, during her visit to a nearby town, displays an interest in romance, spending the day hand-in-hand with Saika. A near accident involving falling timber puts Fiona in peril, but it's Gray and Amu who rescue her. Curiously, Fiona seems disheartened by Saika's lack of action during the incident. Gray divulges a significant revelation to Saika. Fiona is not merely a princess but a cunning politician. Inheriting her mother's magical gift, she possesses glimpses of the future. Despite her status as the offspring of a mistress, Fiona has strategically maneuvered herself to the threshold of royal succession, potentially ascending to empress one day. More unsettlingly, she's plotting something that involves both Amu and Saika, casting an ominous shadow over their future. Saika avoids Fiona, cautious that her future visions may cause problems. Later, he relents and plays chess with Fiona, who wins even though she willingly played with fewer pieces, and as her prize asks Saika for a future favor. From her playstyle, Saika learns she doesn't support the current political system and is purposefully making herself popular with the general public. Saika decides to support her. Elsewhere, the demons defeat a group of bandits and eat them, revealing their identities: Zor the devil god, Mutarev the strongest ogre, Loenai the monster tamer, Hirslaria the evil eye, and Gulganis the devil. On their return to the academy, assassins disguised as bandits attack the carriages to kill Fiona, but with Saika's assistance the assassins are captured alive. Fiona had foreseen the attack and will use the assassins' confessions against her political enemies. The assassins await help from their reinforcements, but Fiona had foreseen the reinforcements being eaten by the demons. Fiona arrives home and cryptically asks Saika to remember no matter her actions she is always on his side. Zor regrets having to hide from his team. Their goal of killing the hero is almost certainly a suicide mission. Principal elects Saika as student representative to welcome the next first-year students. Saika decides to abandon his fear of drawing attention after dealing with the approaching demons. The demons arrive at the academy to slaughter the hero, but find the academy covered in a confusing red fog. Zor decides to abandon the mission, only for Saika to appear. Zor, who can see people's power, is terrified by Saika, who beheads Mutarev. Hirslaria's evil eye is defeated by demon servant White Snake, whose own evil eye stops her heart. Loenai attempts to tame White Snake but is eaten. Zor reveals Saika bears the title Most Terrible Demon King, hoping Gulganis will escape to tell the other demons the prophesized Demon King is an ally of humanity. Zor is obliterated by Saika's fire magic and Gulganis teleports away but dies when Saika uses a substitution talisman to stab him through the heart. Mabel, who saw everything, promises Saika she will keep it secret. At the ceremony to welcome new students, the Dirac Knights of Marquis Greville announce Amu is under arrest for murdering a demon emissary who, at the time of his death, was visiting the academy under diplomatic immunity. Saika advises Amu to submit to imprisonment temporarily. Principal confirms politicians likely want the hero gone. Saika invades the imperial prison, slaughters the soldiers, and finds Amu. Amu naively believes her innocence would be proven, so Saika reveals to her she is the hero, so her innocence is irrelevant as her enemies will kill her regardless. Gray and Fiona appear and admit to plotting Amu's death. Humans and demons are currently in a stalemate, so the existence of a hero could restart the war, so it is better for Amu to die. However, due to Saika protecting her, Amu has not yet had to unlock her hero abilities, so Fiona offers to return them to the academy. Saika realizes this was what Fiona had cleverly planned all along and never intended Amu to be killed, so he decides they will leave the academy and go far away instead. Amu regrets not returning to the academy but looks forward to starting their careers as adventurers. Fiona talks with an entity hiding in her shadow, revealing she knows Saika is the Demon King and will give his life to protect the hero. She also arranges for Aoife and Mabel to join Saika and Amu and begin adventuring as a team. The moral of the anime might revolve around the idea that one's past doesn't define their future. It emphasizes the importance of embracing one's strengths and weaknesses, learning from past experiences, and using them as stepping stones toward personal growth. Additionally, it could highlight the significance of forging genuine connections and alliances, showing that teamwork and support are crucial in overcoming challenges, especially in unfamiliar or hostile environments. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel, because it is very important for the development of the channel.